Good evening and welcome to Divine Healing Tarot, where shit gets real, mate. Look at my comforter. I love my baby comforter. Yeah, I got wolves and I got Bambi. Wolves and Bambi. Okay. All right. Well, I'm back and I'm just gonna do a little random reading. Here, I'll put you right here. Hold on a minute. Okay. All right, you guys want to know how I got through... Hold on, let me get my thing. Okay. You guys want to know how I got through everything in my life? Random scripture flip. Yes, you heard it here. Random scripture flip. Whenever I was really sad, really depressed, and I was all by myself, and I'm in the mountains, I didn't have no family, I had no kids, I had no nothing. Okay, no one. Plus I was surrounded by cartel. And at this time there was rumors going around that, you know, the cartel were taking women and children, okay, and kidnapping them and selling them as sex traffic slaves and stuff like that. So was I terrified? Yes. Yes, I was very scared, okay? But with my dad doing his own thing and living his own life, my mom doing her own thing, living her own life, I guess I wasn't important enough for them to take in. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was just the simple fact of I needed tough love. I don't know what the heck it was. But, you know, I guess your conscience would kick in a little bit, seeing how if you're my mother and you're dating one of my ex-boyfriends for 16 years, you know, I could see how it would be a little uncomfortable sitting around the coffee table. Anyways, so with that being said, and then with my dad, you know, the only time that he was happy is whenever I was doing drugs with him. So, you know, tends to get a little awkward if you're not doing drugs anymore. Yeah. Anyways, so, I triggered the shit out of people, by the way. Okay. And mom, dad, if you're watching and you're getting triggered by this, then good, okay? Maybe it's time that your daughter teaches you a lesson. Oh, yes. All right, so let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to diesel mechanic. That's where we left off. Okay, so I was living off grid. I was happy as a pig in poo. I had my tent, my son. The only thing I didn't have was my son. And what I did to take a bath every day, because I was in the middle of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with California, but it's called the Cajon Pass, okay? And where I was located in between Wrightwood and the backside of Lido Creek, okay? It is a very beautiful area. Very, very beautiful. Very wild, okay? There's lots of bears out there. There's lots of mountain lions out there. I love it. I'll tell you guys this quick little story. When I was in my yurt tent, I was sitting there, and now let me tell you, my yurt tent, it wasn't a tent, okay? I was living in straight up glamping, the lap of luxury. All right, it wasn't no, oh, poor her. Oh, she struggled. No, bitch. No, bitch. I was glamping. Yes. And it was gorgeous. I had a garden. I had a little shower outside. I also had a little kitchen area, and my inside my tent I had a full bed with a headboard and a dresser and a bookshelf and a little couch area and a table. So, you know, it wasn't like, oh, poor her. Oh, no, that's not why I'm telling you these stories. I'm telling you these stories because I want y'all to be able to take lemons that are rotted and ran over on the side of the street and got a little bit of roadkill mixed in with it and make lemonade and filet mignon out of roadkill and lemons, okay? Just saying. So with that being said, yeah, I had my garden and everything. It was so gorgeous. But the only thing that sucked about the garden part was the fact of the rabbits. I hate rabbits. They ate all of my shit, and I was so pissed because they worked really hard. But yeah, the rabbits came in, they ate all my stuff, and It was looking so good too. It had these little sprouts. So I came up with a really good idea. If you don't want rabbits to eat your crap, then, well, not literally, but if you don't want rabbits to eat your vegetable garden, what you do is you take some chicken wire and you put it over the top of it. And then before you plant your stuff, you take chicken wire, you dig down about 2 or 3 feet, you put chicken wire underneath the ground too. So you got a circle, so to speak, of chicken wire going on here, okay? Well, first you dig the hole, then you lay the chicken wire, okay? And then you fill it with dirt, and then you plant your plants, and you put your sticks in there and everything, and then you put chicken wire over the top of it to cap it at the end, okay? It's kind of hard if you have chicken wire going everywhere. But anyways, yeah, because the rabbits, they go under the ground, which I found out the hard way. And they also, they go under the ground and they go above. So I had to get smarter than the average rabbit. And, you guys, I know I'm crazy, and I did have just a little bit of coffee, and, well, this is my second cup, just saying. And so, yeah, I had to get creative and keep the rabbits out. So after I did that, my plant started growing. It was pretty cool. But by that time, I got, asked if I wanted to come to work. And this is by one of my old bosses, okay? His name is Jolly. This is by one of my old bosses. And, you know, by the way, I just want to let you guys know, this is my way of therapy, and I have freedom of speech, and I could share anything I want by using first name, okay? Because you know how many Jollies are out there? You know how many Genies are out there? You know how many Vinces are out there, okay? I could just say, it was Jolly Ollie Oxenfree for all they know. Okay. So I could use names, and it's for my healing. That's why I could do it. Anyways, I'm sorry. I am selfish, you guys. Okay. I really don't give a shit what people think. I do care if good people know how to heal correctly. So that's why I'm getting on here and I'm sharing my story. All right, so my friend, good boss Jolly, my friend Jolly, he got a hold of me. I used to work at Verizon Fiber Optic, and I was a high roller in the office. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Yes, I could. And so I was a high roller, and Jolly was my boss, and, you know, he taught me everything I knew. And he also made it to where, like, I was able to run crews and train people, and it was great, right? It was great. We had a great relationship. Well, fast forward about 10 years, COVID hits, okay? And then he sees on Facebook that I'm living off grid in a yurt tent and all this stuff. So who decides to hit me up? Yeah, you heard him. Jolly hits me up, and he's like, oh, you know, you really inspired me for your garden and stuff, your flower beds, because I had like above garden beds and stuff. And so he's all, hey, you want a job? And I was like, actually, yeah, I just posted on Facebook. I sent my son to live in Missouri with my daughter because I needed to get back to work. I have to provide for my son. Like my son, and in Missouri too, they were already back in school. Okay. California was not back in school after COVID for a year, like about a year or so. Anyway, so, and not just that, but in Greenfield, Missouri, my daughter was also a first, frontline combat, I call it combat because it's during COVID, nurse. She was a combat medic nurse, and she ran the COVID unit. And this is not military. This is in a little, small town, elderly fucking whatever it is home. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss. Elderly old folks home. But whenever you are a nurse and you are going through COVID, okay, I'm sorry, which that was definitely chemical warfare on our country, and that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. Yes, my daughter was a combat medic nurse, okay? Anyways, with that being said, oh, and another shout out to my other daughter, Ashley, which she is 21, and she is in National Guard. So I have a 21-year-old Haley that is still a nurse, not combat, but you know, because she's not COVID unit anymore. But she is a nurse still to this day. And then I have my other daughter, Ashley, and she is also a National Guard. Yes, my daughters are warriors. And my son, my 9-year-old son, is a warrior of God, and he's a Virgo. And let me tell you, that little boy's got more spiritual power in his pinky than I know of most people. All right, anyways, so here we are. And I had to send my son to live in Missouri with my daughter. So I came up with, I got to get a job. So I put on Facebook, yes, I am looking for work and blah, blah, blah. Also, I put on there that I am a welder. I am a nurse. I've done trail work. I've done forestry. I'm a diesel mechanic. I'm just about a jack of all trades and master of every single one of them. Okay? Because anything that I put my mind to and I try to do, I accomplish, collective. Yes, I do. And I rise to the occasion. So, yeah. So here I am, and I got this job, and I was a diesel mechanic, and, you know, I did backyard mechanic stuff with my stepdad, Butch, which, shout out to Butch, I love you. It's my stepdad. I love him so much. That's my dad. 1111, that's my dad. And so, so I'm a diesel mechanic, and I was a backyard diesel mechanic, like, cause my stepdad raised me, and, he was a diesel mechanic. He also drove truck. And so here I am, and I told Jolly, I was like, you know, I catch on really quick. You show me something once, and I could do it. I could do it. I catch on just like that. And so he, was showing me a bunch of stuff and I was catching on really quick. Well, I become really good. And next thing you know, his cousin, the owner of the company, noticed my skills, because I'm very skilled at what I do and how I drive big, heavy equipment as well. Well, Jolly got really pissed off because I was a better driver than he was. Randy would not allow him to bring him big pieces of metal with the Gradall and stuff like that, you know, into the shop, because you got like this much clearance on each side. So you have to get it just perfect. And if you drop that metal on him, he will die. So, you know, I was really good. I trained myself in the yard on my downtime. I even stayed after work, and I would literally, we had these huge tumbleweeds in the yard. And so I would pick the tumbleweeds and put them all in a big old pile with the Gradall. Okay. And that's with putting the boom all the way out and making the head of it go this way. Yeah. I was really good. I was uprooting fucking tumbleweeds in the yard doing cleanup. Okay. Yeah. So that's how I trained myself. And I trained myself within like a week. Okay. And I was a master at it. I was really good. Next thing you know, I'm in the shop, and I'm bringing in Randy big old pieces of metal so then he could weld these truss booms. And Jolly, I just see his green eyes. Well, they were blue, but his eyes just started turning green, like, you know, green-eyed monster. Next thing you know, he got triggered. And he decided that, you know, he was going to try to hit on me. Now, let me remind you, this is a man that goes to church every Sunday with his wife and her kid. And, you know, Jolly's never came at me like this before a day in my life. And I don't know why he decided to do it now, other than the fact that he had to belittle me and degrade me or try to make me feel smaller than he was, because I was better at my job than he was, even though he's been doing it for 30 years. I've just got there and I fucking picked up on everything like as if I've been doing it for 50 years. So, you know, he tried to belittle me and degrade me. And basically, in a nutshell, he wanted me to be his mistress. Yeah. Needless to say, Jolly's lucky he still has his balls intact. Yeah. And so I basically, in a nutshell, said, you know what, F you, I'm out of here, and I quit my job. Well, when I quit my job, I also lost my house because I lived on one of his properties with his son and his daughter. And so I lost my house, I lost my job, I lost everything, only because I would not be this man's mistress. And he wanted me to like suck my way to the top because he tried to make me feel like I had to because I was really good at my job. I don't have to suck my way to the top. Thank you very much. I am very good at my job. I am a master in my trade and anything that I put my mind to. And I don't need to belittle myself like that because I know my worth. In a nutshell, collective, know your worth. And so, yeah, needless to say, I quit that job. Okay. So then 2 weeks later, I get a nursing job. Now, nursing is something that I've been doing almost all my life. Oh, clarification. Nursing is something that I've been doing almost all my life. Okay. I worked for in-home support services through San Bernardino County. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it is a in-home nurse that cares for people on hospice, people that are dying, people that are very sick, or just cannot walk, period, or take care of themselves. That's my job. That's where I would come in and I would make them feel comfortable. I would clean them, bathe them, shower them, do their laundry, their shopping, their dishes. I would do everything for them, everything. Okay, until their time comes when they're going to be with the good Lord. And I would even make them feel comfortable during that time as well. I've held several hands while people passed away. Okay. I believe that going to the spirit realm that's our next best thing. That's what we're all here for. You know, we're coming up to the big show, and that's the spirit realm. So, you know, death to me is a very beautiful thing. Now, if you take your own life, then that stops you from going to heaven. Or the spirit realm, the divine realm. Okay. I'm a strict believer in that. So, but if you, you know, going to the spirit realm is a beautiful thing. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay. And so, I took care of, very good people, very high up people in the church. And, where was I going with that? Okay. Oh, I became a nurse. That's right. Okay. After the diesel mechanic job, I became a nurse. Well, I have a lawsuit going on against this hospital that I was working with because during COVID, they hired basically a laundry lady, okay, to pass out medication. And my patient was not properly medicated. And my patient decided to have a total mental psychosis breakdown. And she had in her mind that she was being attacked by Satan himself. This is what she's speaking, okay? She's about an 80-year-old woman, and she weighs, I don't know, 80 pounds soaking wet. And so she decided that she was on fire, that Satan had her on fire, and that Satan was trying to perform sexual lewd acts with her, okay? In a nutshell. I'm going to leave it there. Spare you guys yeah. And so, so I have to restrain her. And now let me remind you, during COVID, okay, there was COVID funding. We only had 2 nurses to 45 patients or 40 patients. I forgot which one it was. 2 nurses to 40 patients. Okay. And this is a mental psychosis ward. Okay. That is unacceptable. That is way unacceptable. You're supposed to have 1 nurse to every 5, maybe 6 patients is pushing it, okay? We were 1 nurse to 20. Needless to say, this lady had a total psychosis mental breakdown in the chow hall in front of everybody. And we had 1 cook, 1 med tech, and 1 other nurse there besides me. That's all there was. Now, we were getting COVID money. Okay, I know we were, but was it being used to hire nurses? We were severely understaffed. Okay, we should have had a med tech there with an LVN passing out medication. And then not to mention, this lady was only 1 day trained on passing out medication for 45 patients. My patient was not properly medicated. Okay, she wasn't properly medicated, and she had a total mental psychosis breakdown, and she attacked me. While I was trying to restrain her and put her clothes back on, because remember, she's on fire. She's taking her clothes off. I have to restrain her by grabbing the backs of her hand like this and push them and tuck them into her and try to contain her. She had the strength of 10 men. Like, I am like 200 pounds and she weighs like 80 pounds soaking wet. How this woman was able to overpower me and toss me around like a little fucking rag doll is beyond me. But I finally got her into her room. Okay. And when I got her into her room, I had to lay on top of her. Okay. I'm 200 pounds, people. This woman literally like just threw me across the room. Now, let me remind you, I am training a girl straight out of high school too. I'm training this girl. She is now in the corner of the room pissing her pants because she is so scared about what is going on right now. She could not believe her eyes. Like literally, I even thought this bitch's head was going to start turning, okay? It was fucking scary. It was scary. The only thing I could think of, lick my thumb and put a cross on her forehead and restate the Our Father prayer. The only thing that I think saved me. I also always wore a ring. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like a mark there. I always wear rings on my on this finger. I love having a ring on this finger. Anyways, I had a ring on this finger and it was a Celtic knot cross. I'm Irish. I'm very Irish. And it was a Celtic knot cross, okay? This Celtic knot cross was made out of sterling silver. This Celtic knot cross turned black. Black, collective. My sparkly, beautiful silver ring turned black. And this woman threw me across the room. I hit my back really hard, okay? And then I tried to come at her. As I'm coming at her, she's coming at me and she kicked me. And as hard as she could, she just kicked me. And it was like it was Satan. For only the simple fact, she knew exactly where to kick me. I had an old injury when I was little. Okay, I was like 19 years old. This is before the diesel mechanic. This was before the forestry, backcountry, nursing all my life. Okay, I was like 19 years old, and I have an injury on my knee. Well, I healed all of that since then. But let me tell you, Satan knows where you can be injured, where to hurt you, and how to hurt you. And that lady, she kicked me right in my knee so hard that she tore my ACL ligament and tore my meniscus. All right. I was in excruciating pain, but I felt when she kicked me, I fell to the floor. I fell directly to the floor, and I got up and I tried to lunge at her and put her back down on the couch, and I just tackled her like a fucking football player. I did. And the med tech walks in at this time and she looks at me and she looks at the lady and she looks at the girl that's like pissing her pants in the corner of the room. And she says, I can't do this. I can't handle this. And she puts the medicine down and she fucking walks out, collective. She walks out and leaves me in the room with a lady that is possessed by the devil himself and another girl that I'm training that's pissing herself in the fucking corner. I don't know if she really peed herself or not, but she left and quit that day. I know that. And so, yeah, so this is where I'm at now. So almost 2 years later, okay, and I've been battling courts. I've been losing house after house. Like I've just basically winged it and lived in my truck and in a tent and off grid since that happened. Because after that happened, of course I already had to move because I'd quit my diesel mechanic job and that was his property. So I already had to move. But I have not been able to have a steady income. I have not been able to get a house or anything. And I really think that it is Satan and his minions. I honestly, I do. And, it's like, and then I found weird shit happening. Weird shit happening. Like, okay, for instance, I'm sitting there and this is almost like, oh God, how long ago was it? Almost like a year ago. I'm sitting there and I'm watching, you know, the tarot channel, James. I was watching James, as a matter of fact. And I'm sitting there listening to it and he says something about like corruption and lawyers and stuff like that. And as soon as he says that, I get a text message from, oh God, what was it? No, it was, oh, I can't tell you that yet because the case isn't over. Oh shit. I can't tell you that part. Okay. But anyways, in a nutshell, my old lawyer quit. Okay. My old lawyer ended up quitting. They found corruption in the workman's comp district that the lady, the worker, my supposedly workman's comp worker. Okay. She was holding information in my doctor's notes from actual workman's comp that was stopping my checks from coming in. Okay. Yeah. Why was she doing that? She's never even met me a day in my life. I have no idea, other than this is Satan and his minions 101 right here. So, yeah, she ended up getting fired too. And there is a private detective, just throwing that out there. I also have people in the high ups that are, you know, not putting up with any shit for me. And I just got to say thank you, because you guys are divine in your earth angels, and I love you. And so everything's working out now, and I'm about to get my surgery. I've been here in Missouri for 2 weeks, collective. No, it was 2 weeks. I was here in Missouri, okay? I have been waiting to get an MRI and get my surgery for almost 2 years in California. Tell me Satan was not trying to hold me down and stop my blessings from coming in. Listen to this. So I was in California almost 2.5 years. I come out here to Missouri and I get my MRI, and the doctor's already talking about looking into or I'm already talking to a specialist, which I couldn't find a specialist in California either. And all of this happened within 2 weeks. 2 weeks of being in Missouri, okay? Opposed to 2 years. So the power of prayer is very strong, collective. And I want you guys to know that whenever time gets tough, okay, you get tougher. Yes. If you got this guy by your side, God, if you got God on your side, baby, there is nothing no one could ever do to stop you from doing anything. And you will always be divinely guided, okay? Oh, this card wants to fall out. Oh, see, just divinely guided. I got to go with it, okay? Holiness to the Lord. Oh, wow, okay. Random scripture flip. Here we come. This is Exodus, okay? And this is Exodus 28, verse 37. Holiness to the Lord. And you shall I'm sorry, you guys. I can't really read that good, so please just go with it, okay? Sorry. Okay. And you shall put it on a blue cord, that it may be on the turban. It shall be on the front of the turban, so it shall be on Aaron's forehead. I always wear a cross on my forehead. I love that. Okay, that Aaron may bear the inquiry of the holy things, which the children of Israel hallow in all their holy gifts. That is cool. That's confirmation that whoever's out there following me and listening to me, you are an indigo child, because that's confirmation for me that I am an indigo child. I know who I am, so I know who you guys are too. Okay, and it says their holy gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. Amen. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh, okay, I got to read this too. 39, verse 39. You shall skillfully weave the tunic of fine linen thread. You shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the sash of woven work. For Aaron's son you shall make tunics, and you shall make sashes for them, and you shall make hats for them, the glory and beauty. So you shall put them on Aaron, your brethren, and on his sons with him. So in other words, collective, for you guys out there that are gifted, okay, we're going to go through ups, we're going to go through downs, but it's God simply weaving our beautiful lives, and everything happens for a very divine reason. And it's not to break us, but it's to make us stronger. Okay, we are gifted, we are holy, and I really feel like we are 144,000 chosen few. Okay, and it's time that we come together, and it's time that we love, because with the ultimate power of love, anything is possible. I love you guys so much. I'll be back on here for chapter 3 and random scripture flip. God bless. Love you.